I got up at the crack of, well, actually, I didn't get up all that early, but the beauty rest didn't seem to help me much. This is what mornings look like, people. Take it in all its glory. I laid in bed for another 15 minutes and wondered how, in spite of the fact that I spent the entire day before cleaning, that messes like this managed to pop up all around the house sometime within the hour before I went to bed. I got up and had Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Then I gave myself a nice avocado face mask and did my hair. I spent much longer than I wish to recall picking out something to wear. Finally, I decided on something that I thought was cute and that might keep me warm. FYI, it didn't. Soon my aunt and uncle arrived for their week-long visit in their massive RV. They spent a long time getting settled and didn't seem quite ready to socialize. By the way, my aunt and uncle travel with their 5 dogs and 1 cat, which makes the RV seem a lot less massive on the inside. I finished getting all dolled up. I don't usually wear a lot of makeup, but I felt that it was an occasion enough. My aunt and my mom drove me into town so that we could catch up, which was nice. When I got there, I met up with my friend Eliza, who was going to the concert with me, and we hung out and talked for a while, and Eliza smoked a lot of cigarettes. Later, our friend Jerome joined us, and we sat around and drank coffee and talked about music like a bunch of hipsters. It started to get really super cold, so we decided to go grab a bite to eat. On the way, we came across this cult-like prayer meeting in a warehouse, in an alley, and we creeped in the door for a little while. By the time we got to the restaurant, I was shivering uncontrollably, and I couldn't feel my toes.
They're pure white. I think I'm gonna die.
Eliza and I snacked on some chips and dip, and Jerome got a beastly burrito.
Here's a beastly burrito.
Jerome drove us to the venue, so we didn't have to brave the cold, and we got there, the excitement set in.
Bye! Stoked, Eliza?
Yes.
I'm so stoked! That didn't sound very convincing to me.
Actually, even though I was about to see one of my favorite artists, I wasn't that excited. I didn't know what to expect. But I find that most of the time that's a good thing, because I always have my best experiences when I go into things with no expectation. We waited in line, and I joked with the security guard who checked my purse about how many bombs I had in my bag. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Luckily, we had scored third-row seats. D.M. Stith opened for Goodman Stevens, and he also played piano and sang in the band. I've never been disappointed by an opening band, and D.M. Stith was no exception. He was great, his vocals were breathtaking, and he was cute as a button. I love when you go see live acoustic music, and a 4-minute song turns into an hour and your mind drifts into quiet contemplation. As I sat there listening to his hypnotizing music, I thought about the fundamental differences between indie shows and rock shows. Indie shows are like an expensive wine that slowly seeps into you, and a rock show is like a shot of vodka that pulsates through your veins and rocks your whole body. After Stith's set, Eliza and I took a quick bathroom break, and then we ran into 2 friends of mine, Julia and Hannah.
When we were walking here, we met the production manager.
Did you really?
Yeah, and he was like, show me where to eat.
Where to what?
And so we showed him where to eat, and then he told us, he's like, I'll see you guys on stage. And we're like, what? What? You'll see us on stage?
How to make?
What is that? And so he's like, so I'm like, can you let us meet Sufjan? And he said yes. He's gonna.
Are you fucking serious?
No, I'm not serious. He won't let us meet Sufjan, but it was monumental.
By the way, I found out that for the 2 years I'd been listening to him, I'd been butchering the poor guy's name. I'd been saying Sufjan as if there was an extra U, when it is in fact Sufjan, with the J pronounced as a Y. Sufjan, not Sufjan. With that established, we went back inside for the main event. And as I said before, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I just started listening to his new album, The Age of Odds, 3 days before the concert, and I wasn't sure if I liked it. It was just so different from anything he'd ever done before, and he hardly sounded like the same artist. To me, it sounded like he had less depth than his older music. But I couldn't be more wrong, and Sufjan did not disappoint. I was immediately captivated. That's another thing I love about live music. Songs that don't stand out to you on the album become your favorite songs once you hear them live. I was even more intrigued when he explained what all the songs meant. Most of the time, we have our own interpretations of music, and we find meaning in them for ourselves. Personally, I find his song I Walked relevant to my life right now. But I love when I can find out the reasons behind the music straight from the artist. I enjoyed Sufjan talking almost as much as his performance. He is extraordinarily intelligent, and he had the ability to be clever and funny while speaking to our hearts. I thought that was so cute that he called vocal parts of a song that would have words sex scenes. All the aesthetics of the show were just as amazing as the music. It was less concert and more a whole sensory experience. He incorporated art and graphics and lighting and dance and costume to make a delightful whole. There were all these crazy space-age apocalyptic things going on the stage, and it was a bit overwhelming, but in a good way. He explained that his new album and the aesthetics for the tour were inspired by the mentally ill outsider artist Royal Robertson. He actually took 15 minutes or more out of the performance to share some of Royal's art and to tell us about Royal's life. He even wrote his song Get Real, Get Right entirely for Royal. And that's something I love about art. Recently I stopped worrying about my art being original because your art is never completely yours. Art comes from art. Artists are always being inspired by other artists and building on each other's ideas. I also love concerts for the pure love that radiates from them. I felt completely connected to Sufjan and everyone in the room for 2 hours, and there were times when I felt like he was singing just to me, and I'm sure hundreds of other people in the room felt that too. In fact, his song, Too Much, explored the idea of too much love, which is something very relevant for a celebrity and really for anyone. I think we've all felt the phenomena of too much love. At one point in the show, he told us he was going to take us on a journey through love and hope, through heartbreak and devastation and the end of the world, and back to hope and rebuilding and recovery. I felt as if I went on that journey with him, and I feel like the whole experience helped me work out a lot of things in my head, and in the end, I was really uplifted. People always get so angry when artists deviate from their normal style, and as I said before, I felt it too, but I just think it's so cool when artists experiment with new things. Sufjan said that when he was writing The Age of Odds, that instead of just going with the normal music composure, he tried to start with just sound and then to compose over it, and that seemed to create just this whole new element. I've never been to a show that was so diverse, from space age apocalypse to almost tribal kind of scenes, abstract geometric shapes, and crazy hipster dance parties. From driving electronica to beautiful ballads. For his encore, he played his older stuff that I've always loved, like That Dress Looks Nice on You, Illinois, and Kashmir Pulowski. But I only got to stay for Illinois, and I did not want it to end. You guys thought you were done listening to me talking, but I'm gonna talk here for another few seconds. I posted a video of just some of the footage of the concert below. They're not really good videos, but you should still check it out. And I have some better quality videos from the show in my favorites. I also put some links to some articles about the Age of Odds in the doobly-doo. They're not necessarily positive reviews, but they're still good reviews that will give you a pretty good idea of what the album is all about. And if you haven't heard of Sufjan, then I don't even know why you're still listening to me talking. You should go and look him up right now. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!